Sorry, I just went a cappella for the first couple of beats.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome back to Weekend Ready with Luke and Meg.
Woohoo.
We are launching you into the weekend. Happy Friday. Dude, this weekend's been shit for us.
Yes.
But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But you know who's not going to have a shit weekend this weekend?
Who?
Elliot.
What's Elliot doing?
He's going to be 100%ing Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, I don't know if that's a turn up or a wind down. I feel like it's
a turn on for any women. If you know,
turn on?
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't know what if it's turn up or wind down, but I'm horny. So.
If you're a Harry Potter fan.
Yeah, moist. And Tom is going go-karting with the fam, then a pub dinner.
That's actually cool. That's really good.
What
family goes go-karting?
I was going to say, my mum and dad never take me go-karting.
I can't see Shaz and Quent getting on the go-kart.
I could.
Can you?
Not well, but I could see them giving it a red hot crack.
I feel like your dad would be the type of cautious driver to go 40 kilometers, the speed limit in a go-kart.
He would go-karting and then get pissed off that there's no indicator on it. And also Taylor said they're going to go to the pub for a reasonable amount of birthday drinks, then a hangover, I assume. And what I'm realizing is people in our Patreon Discord are just alcoholics. You reap what you sow.
Yeah, it makes sense though, you know?
Yeah.
You can't blame them, can you?
I'm hoping for a turn-up weekend because last weekend I was in a dark room for 3 days listening to podcasts because I had eye surgery.
Oh, yeah.
And also we've got my brother's engagement.
Yeah.
And I've got a triple header. I've got beers every day planned.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Have I told you about that? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
You've got beers wait, hold on. On this weekend, you've got beers every single day of the weekend.
I'm a busy man. I've got a lot of people to catch up with before we go to the UK. And also I just like beer.
You're not just an alcoholic.
No.
You're I'm doing it for the people.
It's social.
Well, I've had some pretty horrible...
One of the days is scheduled alone time. What do you got on this weekend?
We're
both going to the engagement.
We're both going to the engagement, and I've had some pretty awful news, which I'll get into. So I'm really hoping for a turn-up weekend.
I think people can hear the news.
They're going to be so confused, though. Well, what happened? How do you just acquire this?
All right, please be a turn-up. If it's a wind down, I will riot.
You'll riot?
I'll riot.
All right, spin fast. Please.
Please to God.
Please.
Oh.
No.
Oh, no.
Fuck. We're winding down.
Cancel the beers. This sucks. All right. Well, Elliot, you're not going to harm 100%. You'll probably get 50% through Hogwarts Legacy at best.
Or you'll get through the whole thing and it's just going to be sad.
Well, either way, it was going to be sad.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It just means that we just kind of settle. Yeah. We settle down. That's okay. You still get all your beers. Yeah. You'll just be settled.
Yeah. Now, I think it's about time we address the lisping elephant in the room.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
That was rude. It's called you an elephant. It's not even funny.
My face isn't that fat anymore.
Yeah, you're more of a lisping chipmunk. Meg got her wisdom teeth out. So I think it's confusing for people.
Should I tell them what happened?
Well, we pre-recorded last week's episode by 5 or 6 days because Meg was going in to get her wisdom teeth out. Yeah. So this kind of happened almost 2 weeks ago now.
Yes. Did you want me to say what actually happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically...
No, actually, lie.
Yeah.
Meg got hit by a truck.
With a lie?
Yeah.
No, Meg got hit by a truck.
Shark attack. And they only got the inside of her gum. It was a really small great white.
It took half me tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the thing came up.
They came bounding over.
They came bounding over the fence. And he came in like...
Your impressions have been looking fire lately, dude. You do Yoshi Junkie really well and Guy from A Current Affair.
Now I get...
From 2010.
Only people in Australia will understand that reference.
And as soon as they saw me, they came bounding over.
like for those who do know what we're referencing, the video of the guy going on Australian TV that went viral.
Yeah.
I always thought I reckon there was like maybe 6 months there where I just thought that was Bob Catter. Because, like, look at the guy. Do a side-by-side comparison in your head right now of a current affair bounding over guy and Bob Catter. What happened? The truth.
Okay, so there's a positive and a minus to this. Basically, what happened was, in short, I went to sleep and then I woke up with a lisp, which is not a lie.
No, that's true.
And what happened to me?
It was a forced sleep.
What happened to me is so rare that only 0.025% has this happen. So it's very, very rare when this does happen. And I'm so unlucky that it happened to me.
Because your job is talking.
Yes. And laughing as well. The two things that I'm not supposed to do. So basically went in for wisdom to stop it.
Okay, before you go, Meg does have a list because of her wisdom teeth. I've got some
Maybe
vocal warm-ups for you to try just to get into the podcast. Because I understand this is difficult for you. It's not your fault. It's a medical thing. So I've written down some like little vocal warm-ups you could try.
Okay.
Just start off with something super easy.
Yeah, before
just
I
a
tell.
classic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, give that one a go.
You fucking cunt.
I'm trying to help you.
She said, fuck.
Would you like me to read it? Okay.
She sold seashells by the seashore.
Perfect. And the next one?
I scream, you scream, we all scream. I scream.
That's good.
That's
okay,
good.
wait, Meg's getting warmed up.
Learning.
Have a crack at this one.
Okay.
Bit more of a challenge.
Oh, no. Oh, this, I can do this. Peter Piper picked up, I don't even know how to do this on its own. Peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked. I'm pretty good with my P's,
That's
actually.
true. This one wasn't a challenge.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers where the peck of pickled...
Meg just can't read.
I'm just dyslexic.
All right, that's fine. I got
What's
one
the
more.
last one?
Yeah, this is the final vocal warm, and after this, you should be ready for the show. Great.
This bullying from Luke is sassy, malicious, and systematic.
Sorry, it's what?
It's systematic.
It is.
I sense that I don't like being a recipient of your shameless unpleasantry. I, Meg, will employ an assassin and move to Mississippi.
Okay, so can you read it clearly? Because this is supposed to be vocal
Yeah,
warm.
sorry. I, Meg, will employ an assassin and move to Mississippi and become a humble statistician.
A humble what?
Statistician.
Statistician. I can't even say that word.
You sissy.
Great. Okay.
So now that I'm all warmed up,
Yeah.
actually, I'm not going to lie. Can I have some water? It's really bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I went in for wisdom tooth surgery. Basically, when you come out, you're all fat chipmunk and you're all numb. So the whole thing's numb. So it was kind of expected that I wasn't going to be able to like talk and stuff for the first few days.
I'm pretty sure the first thing I said when you came home was I laughed. So I didn't say anything. I laughed.
No, you just laughed.
And then
at
I
me.
said, you look like a Roblox character.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, you did.
Yeah. It was 8-bit Meg.
And it's valid. It's valid. And then quite a few days passed, and all of the numbness went away except for on half the side of my mouth, of my tongue, like the inside of my mouth. And so the dentist was like, no, it's okay. It's just because the swelling might be compressing a nerve. There's like such a low chance that you've actually damaged this nerve. And so I go back in a week later and he's like, so you're all healed up? And I'm like, no, I don't have any feeling in half of my like mouth. And he's like, oh no. So basically what's happened.
But this is like you couldn't literally talk for 4 days. Pretty
Yes.
much.
Yeah,
which
no,
is
I
not
couldn't.
common because I remember I got my wisdom teeth out and I reckon 2 days later I was munching again.
Yeah, and they're
and
like it's
talking.
the most horrific pain as well, like the worst pain I've ever been in. Like I'm pretty good with pain, hence why I went literally like a year and a half with a infected wisdom tooth. And so I'm pretty good with pain usually. Basically like this side was all healthy and everything. I'm not allowed to say like too much about like the doctor and stuff. But I went in for my final checkup the other day because I was like, I'm still completely numb and there's a lot of pain.
And people are laughing at me at the supermarket.
I don't want to talk about that part.
Meg came home from the shops the other day and goes, it was so embarrassing.
Like it sucked. It was the most embarrassing thing that I've. Do you know how demeaning it is going back into the shops and seeing people who you like have previously known, and you're talking to them, and they're like, "Why have you got a lisp?"
What's funny is people don't bring it up. Like
No, they try and pretend that it's not there.
Meg was talking to the neighbor, and I was overhearing the conversation, and you waited probably a minute to bring up the fact that why you had a lisp,
Yes.
and he was straight up ignoring it. You're like, oh, hi, how are you going? And he was just like talking to you like, oh, good, Meg, how are you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then eventually you go, I've had my wisdom teeth out. And he went, I didn't even notice. And I'm just sitting there like, bullshit. You didn't notice?
Our other neighbor Barry though, he was like, yeah, I noticed you had something funny going on.
Yeah,
Like,
Barry's
he was-
back. For
yeah.
old Luke and Lewis listeners, I haven't seen our neighbor Barry for a while who used to water our garden.
Yeah, but Barry's back.
And we drove up the driveway the other day and he's just in front of our garage
Yeah.
watering the plants. And then he
He
had
was
a...
out there again today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He had a crack at me in a weird Baz way. Not a crack. I love Baz.
Yeah,
But he
we
made
all
like
love
a
Baz.
joke that I was lazy. I get out of the car and I go, Barry, how you been? And I cannot preface this enough for those who don't know. I have not once ever asked Barry to water my plants. Sometimes he is just in our backyard watering our plants. He lets himself in through the gate and then you see, sometimes I'll be in my kitchen.
Can't knock him though.
Which for a bit didn't have blinds.
Yeah.
And I would just be having cereal and I'd look over and Barry's there watering. He just waves through the window. So not one point did I ask him to do this. Anyway, he gets out of the car and I go, hey, go on, Barry, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, look at you, mate, getting the old man to water your plants. Jesus Christ. And I'm like, Barry, I've never asked you to do this. All right, you've taken this upon yourself. I don't even know really where he lives. I keep saying he's my neighbor, but
Yeah.
does he even live directly next door?
Not directly next door.
He lives like 3 doors down.
Yeah. Yeah. He lives.
He just lives on our street.
Yeah. Yeah. He lives in the units next door, but like down the bottom, this man has to walk up our entire driveway.
He's an
to get to
absolute
our
beast.
house.
He's a king.
He's so good though.
But yeah,
It's we weren't gonna water the front garden, were we?
Yeah, but he's an older guy, so he's just straight up honest. And
yeah, he's
Meg
brutal.
gets out of the car, hasn't said anything. He goes, geez, you've looked better, Meg.
Anyway, I went back to the dentist the other day, and he told me the very unfortunate news that is, he's definitely damaged the lingual nerve, which language.
Yep.
You need that for like tasting things. And
That's the thing we both struggle with. I
Yes.
think I had my lingual nerve nerfed at birth. And then it's in adulthood.
it's never recovered.
No, I can't speak, but I think it might be I'm not sure if it's a mouth or brain issue yet. I think it's the
it's
way
a
my
brain.
brain communicates with my mouth.
Yep. That is how talking works.
Exhibit A.
Yeah, and then he was like, so I was like, okay, well, what's the recovery time like? So you've nicked the nerve. Now what's the recovery time? And he was like, oh, well, it's anywhere between 8 weeks and 2 years. And I was like,
That's a long time.
that's a big gap. That's a big
8 weeks to
big
2
gap
years.
in between there. Yeah.
2 months
Yeah.
or 2 years. Anywhere in between. That's so vague.
Yeah.
That's him going, I have no idea when you'll be able to speak again,
Yeah.
but good luck and please get out of my office.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the most polite
Yeah.
way to tell someone to go fuck themselves for the next 2 years.
Yes. Yeah. So, so that's basically it. They accidentally damaged my lingual nerve, so half of my mouth is not speaking.
And then they did say to Meg, make sure you just try not to laugh or talk.
Yeah, then he goes, oh, but that's okay. Just make sure that you're not laughing or talking too much. And I was like, I do a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm so sorry.
And not to you, to the listeners. Really.
Yeah, so very unfortunate for me, but to everyone else around me, comedically gold. Very funny stuff. I now talk like Sid the Sloth.
You know what I can't wait for? The pillow talk.
I was about to say that. So
Oh, look, flip it in.
it's so hard.
Oh, yeah, so sexy.
You can't do sexy talk with a lisp. Oh my, you can't. It's just not a thing. Oh, that's so hot.
Yeah. You're lucky my name's not Sam or something.
Oh,
or,
Sam.
Oh, Stephen.
Steve. Oh, stick it in me, Steve. It's not hot.
No.
It's not attractive. It's not an attractive sound.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Now
That's
I have a
gonna be
list.
awesome.
But they said that the list should get better. It's just the other side of my face has to get stronger.
I'm making a lot of jokes, but God, I feel so awful. That's the thing. I make a lot of jokes on camera, but then off camera, I just sometimes Meg tries to say a sentence and I just go, oh, darling.
I do have to stop sometimes and try and think about the sentence that I'm going to say, because especially if it's got a lot of S's in it, it's not great, is it?
No.
No, it's not. But no, I'm optimistic.
I'm sorry. I also don't know yet because we haven't found the point yet, but I wonder, I've been thinking about this a lot. I wonder when it's going to stop being funny, because currently I feel like we're actually at its peak.
Well, hopefully the idea is that I get strong enough so that I don't have a lisp. But
That was good.
yeah. So I can. It's just really painful at the moment, so I'm kind of relaxing it.
I feel bad for people with a lisp because that's a hard word to say, with a lisp.
If I put a lot of effort into it and I really try to put the placement differently, I can sound quite normal.
Ooh.
But it's really hard and really painful. So I'm gonna go back to this one for a little bit.
Meg's just going to speak parcel tongue for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
We're going to just be having a conversation about something that happened on the weekend, and then you're going to unlock a chamber of secrets accidentally. The door's just going to start swinging open and we're going to be like, holy shit. A basilisk is going to... And you're going to start talking to each other.
Maybe we should get on the new Harry Potter game.
You can be like Dr. Dolittle for snakes. That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want to talk to a snake.
Yeah, that's good. Actually, can we get...
I can do my one of my old favorite memes. I'm a snake.
I'm a slippery...
I'm a slithery little snake. Slithering in your garden, catching me in your mouth. Slither. I got it perfect.
That and Sid the Sloth quotes are the only benefit. We were in the supermarket the other day and Meg didn't have what they wanted, and Meg's like, they do this every time. Why does everyone care about Meg?
They do this every time.
Can you do the one I see a leaf, I see a tree, that's my tracking?
I see a leaf, I see a tree. That's called tracking.
That's awesome.
Oh, my roller skates have just come undone.
Can you do this one? Oh. Did you even put them up at the start?
No.
That's such a rogue statement to come out with when no one knew you were wearing roller skates. So there's been someone commenting on the YouTube episode every week that Meg needs to clean her shoes.
That's them clean.
Firstly, bro, stop looking at my girlfriend's dogs, all right? Back off those feet, brother. They're my feet. Like, look, you can have them. I'm not really into no, look, you can look at those feet. I don't really get the foot thing. But again, it's not a sexual thing. This is just a concerned listener of our show that gets annoyed by your dirty kicks.
Yeah, so I decided to put the clean white ones on.
And the only clean ones you have are your roller kicks.
My roller
That
kicks.
you bought as a joke during COVID because we were sad.
It was fun though.
Did you buy them because I started rollerblading as a joke?
No. You were
Skateboarding.
Skateboarding. And I was like, I saw these kept popping up on my Instagram.
You got done by a targeted ad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I was like, oh, I need some of them.
They're like the shoes where if you kick your feet together, the wheels pop out. And then it was one tour. It was that year when we were traveling around with COVID. Meg would literally wear them to shows. And then there was one time where I'm like, Meg's like, oh, I've got to go get some more merch from the car. And then I just see her kick out her wheels and then just start blading to the car like a proper 12-year-old. That's awesome. Yeah, they're pretty cool. But anyway, yeah, they are
So
clean.
sick. They are
So
clean, though.
suck on that, dude. Meg's cleaned her kick. Well, not really,
Well, I
actually.
didn't get to- well,
It's
that's the
you've
thing.
lost. You've given into peer pressure, and they've won.
Oh, absolutely. You know when you wear shoes so much that the dirt like seeps into the freaking material?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happened. I just wear them every single day. I only have one pair of shoes at a time.
So I went to the Gold Coast last week
Oh yeah, you did.
to finish off the stuff with my comedy special.
Yeah.
Which is almost all done. It's been sent off to be mixed with the sound, and all the intelligent, smart, talented people fix it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, when I say fix it, they just color grade it and stuff.
Yeah.
You can't fix my fucking jokes. They're already set in stone. I said them on the
No,
night.
It's really good though.
It is actually good.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
really good.
I'm also very self-critical.
Yeah, absolutely. But like, it's really good. In like a that's a hard word to say. Particularly, with the comedy specials that have been coming out, it's a really good
Yeah.
special. Like,
It's just
really,
weird
really good.
because with the comedy special thing, you lose a bunch of power in some sense. Like I think it's easier in the room.
Yeah.
Like it's more fun to watch comedy in the room. I find some of my favorite comedians, we sit on the couch and watch their specials and we're just like, nice. Oh yeah, good, classic.
Oh, absolutely. It's the atmosphere, like it's other people being in there. That's why, like, if you've got a shitty crowd, often they feed off each other.
But what is good, I've been showing people it and people have been laughing out loud. Like every time I've shown like people a crowd back bit from the special or just whatever, one of the bits, they've
Yeah.
actually been like laughing out loud. I don't know if they're doing it because I'm there and they're like, ha ha, ha, yeah, good, Luke. Ha.
You're holding a gun to their head. You're
Yeah.
like, fucking laugh.
Enjoy it. But anyway, so I went up to the Gold Coast. I was at the airport. I just flew out for like the night. You know how, I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast, but maybe we didn't.
Mm.
You know how we went through the airport? I don't know where we were, probably coming back. I forget where. And you know, you go through security and there's one metal detector machine, like where you walk through it. And there's one where you put your arm up, spread them,
Spread them cheeks.
like you're a dead body on a crime scene, like kind of like you're pulling like a T pose, but with your arms down.
yeah.
It's like that Carl Barron bit where he's like, this is not my joke, by the way, but it's one of my favorite jokes of all time. He's like, I went to the bank the other day and they asked for an impression of my MasterCard. So I was like, it's a great bit. Anyway,
Definitely hard for the audio
literally
listeners to get.
the
but
peak of Aussie comedy
Yeah.
is a physical gag. Anyway, so you know when you hold your arms out
Yeah.
in like a starfish kind of way, I just 3 weeks ago got flagged. It went beep, beep, beep. And they went, oh, please go see the person. and you were there this time.
Oh,
And there was a
I know. What you're
only can be
saying.
described as it shows the targeted area on the body that was the problem,
Yes.
and it was my cock and balls.
It was
And
literally, I saw it. It was on, like, all red around his crotch.
yeah, and the guy was like, "Oh, do you mind if I pat you down?" And I was like, "Please."
It's my favorite part of the day.
My girlfriend has a lisp now. This is going to be the hottest thing I've seen in ages. I experienced in ages. Please do. And what I realized in the moment, as soon as I said yes, you can pat me down, I realized that my dong was kind of leaning against my leg, and I think it actually flagged my cock as a weapon.
Well,
Which, by the way, I've said this many times, small to medium with a respectable girth, man. I'm not saying I'm packing heat. That's why I was so shocked by it. I'm a grower, not a shower. I was flaccid as fuck and got flagged as a security risk at Melbourne Airport. I was stoked, man. That's the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. Right? And Meg and I were laughing about it. Meg's like, "Why'd you get stopped?" And I was like, I think it like just flagged my cock.
Well, no.
Like I had something in my pocket.
the way that you had said it was, it flagged it on the machine.
I think-
And then you were like, so basically just before he did the pat down, you were like, I shifted it.
Before he patted me down, I realized I should probably readjust down there. And I quickly readjusted my underwear, ripped it back in, and then he patted my thigh. Nothing there.
Well-
But what would happen if he saw a lump and was like, why
No, you re-went in the machine.
are you turkey slapping your thigh?
You...
Yeah, he made me re-go through
That's
it.
the whole thing. So, like, you shifted it, then you went back through the machine and it didn't flag it.
Yes.
So then it was like, oh, okay. And then you told me that. You're like, I think my cock just showed up on the machine.
I was just in a state of shock.
And you told me that, and I was like, dude, your cock's a literal weapon.
Yeah, congratulations. I was stoked. I told everyone for like a week. And then forgot about it. Went through security.
Didn't happen again.
The Gold Coast. I swear to God. This time I checked beforehand. I was like, I'm definitely going to readjust because I didn't want that to happen again. It's not great having a random pat you down at the airport in front of like 100 tired people at 6 a.m.
No, ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't want people touching my balls at 6 a.m. That's just a
No.
little thing I have.
It's a little thing.
It's like no chocolate and no ball touching before
Yeah,
like
I think
9.
you're the only person who doesn't like that.
You like chocolate in the morning? Oh, the balls.
The balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the chocolate, okay. Of course I would have chocolate at 6 a.m.
I can't do chocolate early. There's some foods I can really only do breakfast foods before midday. I can't do like pizza in the morning. That's weird.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
Anyway, I went through, beeped again. I looked at the chart. I went, there's no way.
Is it cock?
Well, because I thought it beeped because I went, oh shit, I have my watch on.
Oh.
There was 2 highlighted areas,
Yeah.
my wrist and my cock. Now, I didn't have a Garmin on my cock, so I was very confused. And the guy patted down both. My wrist was all good. He got to the thing, and he was just confused. He's like, oh, do you have anything in your pocket? And I emptied my pockets in front of him. He's like, no. He's like, go through again. It beeped again.
Your cock beeped again.
I've come to the conclusion that I think I have metallic balls.
You got that metal dick.
I might have metallic sack. I have no idea what's going on, but there is...
A titanium
Can
sack.
a doctor or an airport security specialist who may be listening, please tell me what's going on with my nuts?
Someone needs to defuse that cock stat.
Man, I need a...
Them wire pliers.
What about if like I had this thought, because everyone in my family dies of cancer, and I know it's really a morbid
Oh,
thought,
no.
but I had like a thought of like, what about if it's like detected like a lump in my nuts, or like I started like overthinking this. I was waiting at the terminal just by myself with my own thoughts at the airport, just like, what if, like I went from metallic cock to I'm dying of cancer in about 3 minutes in my brain.
Can airport scanners do that?
Man, I
Can
don't
they-
think so.
They can't detect cancer?
I think if they could detect cancer, a lot more people would have their cancer detected early.
Yeah, it would be actually like a life-saving
Yeah.
thing, wouldn't it?
I think hospitals will be using the technology if that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. That would make more sense.
Anyway, so I'm waiting at the terminal as I'm having a crisis, and I start overhearing these two tradies talk. And I wrote down the quote.
Yeah.
I never wanted to forget it. So there was these two guys, and
Yeah.
they were like, it was a Monday morning. So that's when you go to the airport at like 6 a.m. on a Monday morning, you get all the FIFO workers. So there might have been mining workers. I don't really know. But they were in like high vis. So I just thought tradie because I don't know what men do.
High vis,
during the
tradie,
day.
yes.
I don't know what like normal people do with their lives. I just kind of do this. I'm like, oh, I got metallic balls. So I came in at this point. They were just all you need to know is they were discussing the importance of fingers in general,
What do you just like
having them.
right?
They're like, you're like, yeah, like you need them, eh? I realized that the other day, like you couldn't do shit without your fingers, man. And the other guy was like, yeah, fuck off, dude. Like you need them. You like tell me one thing you can't do without fingers. And man, I could think of heaps of shit. Kick a soccer ball. You don't need fingers for that. I was going to start listing things to them, and I was like, it's not my place. And like what I boiled it down to, and I know maybe I'm putting more thought into it than what he did.
Yeah.
But he's kind of right. You do take things for granted. You take phalanges for granted, man.
Absolutely. Now, how much percentage of our audience would understand the word phalanges?
Maybe like, well, it depends how many people have come over from TikTok.
Finger nuggets. No, because they're fingers. That would just be putting nuggets into it.
What about instead of fish finger? No, that's what fish fingers are called.
God, we really stuck at this, don't
wait,
we?
you're trying to think of another name for fingers?
Yeah.
Like people wouldn't understand it. You think we need to start listing synonyms for them?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, by the way, for our TikTok audience, synonym is a word that means the same thing as another word.
Stick wigglers.
That's good. What about blood rods? Because you got blood in them.
Okay.
What about handy claws? I think people know what fingers are. This was not the point. Anyway,
yeah.
it was one of the best things I've ever heard. I've thought about it for the whole trip. I was just like, this guy, he would look like 28, 30, I don't know. And he's gone his whole life without looking down at his hand and appreciating that. I mean, I've maybe had the thought. I've definitely never voiced that opinion of mine. You now envisioning yourself if you didn't have fingers?
Yeah, I reckon I can do it.
No, you'd be... Stumpy Meg would not be a vibe.
Then I'd be Stumpy Lispy Meg.
Yeah. And then
she got the lips and they got the stumps.
I got to the Gold Coast, and which is, look, people who have been regular listeners for a while of various podcasts I've done know my feelings about the Gold Coast. The best way to summarize the Gold Coast is, just for overseas listeners if they're not familiar, it's the bin of Australia.
Yep.
One time I saw two 15-year-old boys have a punch on over a Mick Rap outside the Cavill Avenue.
I was about
Surfers
to say, was that
Paradise.
Cavill Avenue? Because that's so like Cavill Avenue.
One guy said, that's my Mick Rap, and the other guy said, no, that's my Mick Rap. And then they proceeded to fight, and a bunch of other 15-year-olds cheered. And I'm not going to lie, I did join in because I'm not stopping that. That's hilarious. If two little ratty kids want to beat the shit out of each other in front of me, that is not my place to stop that. If anything, if I intervene, that's assault on a minor. So all you can do is really cheer and have fun, and you don't go to jail.
Isn't that like, but cheering and like having fun and playing along, isn't that like harassment or something? Or not like no.
Oh, it's definitely inciting violence.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh well. The cops laughed. Like they broke it up. The cops came and were like, guys.
Did they actually get the
I
cops involved?
I heard
It
a
was
cop
that
say the
bad.
phrase, whose Mick Rap is it? Which is some of the best mediation I've heard in a long time. Let's get to the bottom of this Mick Rap issue. Not stop being little fuck turds.
Where are your parents?
Yeah, the first thing I'd ask is
Christ.
like, why are you here? Anyway, it's a great place. Do you notice, did you see that a girl got stuck in a bin in the Gold Coast like 3 weeks ago?
Oh my God.
Did you see this?
She got stuck in a bin.
Head first
was it the top half stuck in,
I'll
or
show
was
the
it like
photo.
feet first, eyes poking through, like help me?
By the way, for overseas people, this is another update on how Australia's gone. This was nationwide news that a woman got stuck headfirst in a bin. The photo is incredible. It's just, I don't even know how to describe it for audio listeners. So you know a bin, right? Now imagine if a bin, you know the bins that have like a roof on the bin?
Yeah.
But there is enough of a
gap
between the roof and the bin, I guess, clearly for a human woman to lodge herself in. Dude, her head fucked a bin. That is what's happening in the photo.
Wait, so did she just get the head stuck or the torso stuck?
Like,
oh my God.
her feet are just dangling out of a bin. It looks like an art piece at a museum.
It's her legs. Her entire, it's like her full torso is stuck.
But if that photo,
what was she trying to do though?
probably like, that's a work of art, man, because I've never seen an image describe a place more accurately in my entire life. But yeah, it was awesome. It was fine. The weather's so good up there. I actually like love it so much.
Yeah, we're shitting on it, but at the same time, it's the place that we're at the most.
Oh yeah, we were there 3 weeks ago. It was weird. It was just weird.
I'm constantly there.
It's actually becoming the second
Yeah, it's the
most
goat.
common place I go, I think.
Yep.
Other than
Perth.
Oh yeah, I go to Perth a lot.
Yeah, we like Perth.
Perth's such a hike though. Anyway,
Yeah, that's the thing.
that was it. I just wanted to tell you that a woman fucked a bin with her face.
It wasn't just with her face. It was with her
entire torso. Yeah.
That's
Like
freaking
a
wild.
human-sized dildo for the bin.
Oh, no.
Stacey, slap it in.
Now you're starting to do the lisp. You know what I also don't understand? Why did they call it lisp? Because it's one of the hardest things to say.
I said that before.
Oh, really? Yeah. I'm so sorry. My brain ejected it immediately.
That was a cool original thought. It definitely wasn't my thought either. I feel like I've heard someone say that before too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anyone with a lisp would be like, what the fuck? Why did they create this?
I want to apologize to our listeners.
Why are you apologizing?
Well, last week which we haven't got into yet. I had eye surgery.
Oh, yeah.
I'll start off with the apology first and then we'll explain the eye surgery.
Yes, Luke, please apologize.
Thank you.
Apologize for...
You makes like, what are we apologizing for? I had to be in a dark room for 3 days after my eye surgery, so I was listening to a lot of podcasts. And we had a few people complain. We launched a new segment last week called Pre-Internet Chat, where I didn't know how carrier pigeons worked. I'm pretty sure at one point I said pigeons have magnets in their brain. And that I'm not apologizing for.
That's
I maintain that that's pretty funny and also a good theory.
Yeah, I said that from the get-go. I don't care what the truth is. I'm just going to go with that.
But
It's all pigeon cum.
who commented? Someone said, Luke, as an animal behaviorist, my brain hurts hearing you talk about carrier pigeons and hereditary transmission of GPS data. I love it. And a few people were just generally angry at that because we were dumb for 5 minutes and they had to listen to it. And I always go, oh, who cares? That's funny. It's hilarious being misinformed and spewing bullshit on a podcast.
Yeah.
But then I experienced it firsthand in that room. I was listening to an episode of Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And it must have been an episode from like 2020 or 2021 where he was talking about Australian military lockdown and what had been reported about our lockdowns in the US, which at the time was like, Australia's this police state, blah, blah, blah. Whatever was being reported at the time in America wasn't a completely inaccurate depiction of what was happening here during lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like, there's military locking people in their homes, which might have happened to maybe like an apartment block or so.
Yeah.
Definitely a few times.
There was like
But
a suburb that
he was kind of just saying like all of Australia's like there's military helicopters in the streets, there's guns pointed at people. Kind of, they were just like,
it's the purge.
and I was listening to this episode of Joe Rogan because he had a good guest on that I wanted to listen to. But I was sitting there just getting silently infuriated by how misinformed he was about this. And I was like, that's not true. I know, blah, blah, blah. And then I immediately had the thought, Oh, fuck. That's how everyone feels every week listening to my podcast for the last 7 years.
I don't think...
I've done a solo podcast. I've done Luke and Lewis. I've done radio before. People in their cars, soccer mums on national radio, must have been hearing me saying shit like, yeah, the pigeons have magnets in their brain. Just fucking banging their steering wheel.
Yeah, but at least at the beginning of the segment, we were like, we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, we made it clear that, okay, what we're about to say is completely coming out of our ass.
Someone commented, pigeon cum is because they have magnets in their brain. Source, just trust me, bro. Which is definitely the energy of that segment. We will be bringing that segment back in a couple of weeks. I have a couple more, but Phoebe is not here today to fact check us. And without a voice of reason in the room,
We should not be
I probably should have asked
talking.
Reese, but I don't think he wanted that responsibility. He's like, do not ask me for a fact. So, that's my apology. I'm apologizing for being misinformed, but then I also think it's funny. So I'm apologizing, but I'm not going to change my ways.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to apologize for that. You know why? Because it's a bit of fun and it's very funny. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, so I had this eye surgery 5 days or 4 days after you had your wisdom teeth out. And we thought that would be enough time when we booked it in, because we're like, wisdom teeth, that's 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, that's what they said to me. They were like, it's going to be easy recovery.
You'll be back on track. I get my eye surgery done. Meg is not even up to talking. There was 48 hours in our household where the two of us, we're living there together. I was blind and Meg was mute.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard that is to communicate? We were like, it's not like she can even write a note down like, this is what I'm trying to say.
No, I had to learn. We had to do very like one-worded sign language
Meg
stuff.
started trying to teach me Auslan.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Meg, I can't see.
Yeah. So I was like, this is a good idea. I'll go in. And then,
She tried to teach me I'm going to have a shower in Auslan.
Yeah.
She's like, shower.
shower. And then I was like hungry, and I was like hungry.
Yeah.
And he was.
I was like, I'm not deaf. You can just talk to me.
No, but then I was like, no, I was trying to say, but I can't speak because I can't. It's so hard for me to speak.
Right.
And so, eventually, I would come in, look at him. He'd be like, "What?" And I'd be like, and he'd be like, "Oh, hungry. Okay." Food. And he's like, I want this. And would tell me what he wanted. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. It was grim. And do you know how boring that is to sit in a dark room for 72 hours?
Dude,
And I can't look at my phone, by the way. So imagine I just sat in my bed for 3 days straight. Didn't leave a room.
That sucks.
And then at night, when it got dark, I could venture around the house and it was so exciting. I was like, I'm going to walk to the kitchen.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see shit, so just bumping into stuff. I'm bumping into the fridge like, Meg, I'm bored. I'm just I look like a glitching NPC.
Just a shitty Sims character.
Yeah.
No, but it sucked because I also obviously had to be in the dark. And so at night, I would have to get the house ready to be Luke proof. Because when he'd come out, he'd come out like, ooh, bod.
Oh, you just slammed your roller kicks into my toe. Oh, dude. That plastic wheel just slammed into my big toe.
So what you just saw or heard there was Meg assaulting
I feel like
Luke.
this episode's getting out of hand. Can we just wind down for a bit again? I feel like we've just been... the speaker died. You know what? It's playing out to the people. That's fine. They can hear it.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Just chill out for a second. Okay. I think I'm crying. You know when it gets right on the nail?
So sorry. Oh my God.
That's okay.
Do we need a break? Are you actually okay?
No, that's fine. All right, we've winded down now.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Neither do I. I'm in a lot of
sorry.
pain.
I mean, if it helps, I'm also in a lot of pain because you just made me laugh a lot.
I'm so sorry.
Now we're just in pain. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'm going to cross my legs.
It's okay.
I'm going to cross my leg. I did. What was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I had to Luke proof the house because he would be like board, 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 and then he'd be like come out and he'd be like bashing into the walls, and then, yep.
Yeah. And by the way, Meg got me back immediately. As I said the Roblox thing as she walked in after her surgery. As I got dropped off back home, I'm coming and I have to wear these sunglasses, which for audio listeners, picture your dad mowing the lawn on a Sunday or like at an AC/DC outdoor concert.
Yeah, and
Just
so as soon as he came
servos, like I would say medical servo sunnies.
Yeah, but as soon as he came in, I was like, you don't own me. And he was like, don't you dare.
She just starts roasting me about a video I made 5 years ago. She's like, go ignore a sign. And I'm like, I can't see you.
Where's the sign?
I have this. Every night I had to wear this face shield, which was terrifying for Meg because I look like a serial killer. I look like a ski mask, but only over my eye. I've never actually said what I have. I had a thing called cross-linking done. Corneal cross-link. Cornea?
Yes.
Corneal? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Meg Googled the surgery before it, watched the video, and was like, dude,
idea.
it's so gross. And I was like, don't tell me that. I've already had it done on one eye before.
It was really gross.
And then I watched it during the week. Oh, it's
Why
so gross.
would you do that?
Because I was intrigued. Curiosity.
That's what I said. You were like, I would never look that up. And I'm like, but aren't you curious?
Well, I don't have to
find
have it
out
done
what
again now. They
Yeah.
told me it should last for the rest of my life. So what's weird is, so you're not under any anesthetic the whole time. It's just numbing eye droplets. So only your eyeball is numb. You can feel temperature, touch on your eye. So when they tape your eyelashes open, so they put a rod in between your eyes so you can't blink.
Yeah.
And then they tape your eyelashes, which just hurts because someone's putting tape over a really sensitive part of your inner eye.
Yeah.
And then your eye just twitches because it thinks it's blinking.
Oh my God.
But when I watch the surgery, when this eye blinks, the other eye just goes and just keeps trying to twitch, but they lubricate it so you don't need to blink. And it's numb anyway, so you can't really feel that burn that you get when you haven't blinked in a while. And then they like scrape a layer off it and it looks like a little windscreen wiper because you can see them doing the surgery through the eye that they're operating on. Not operating. It's not really a surgery. It's more like a procedure. It takes like 40 minutes.
Yuck.
And then you like...
Can you feel anything? You can't feel anything. They numb it completely.
Yes. So no, but they have to keep... So you go more eye droplets because then the pain starts to seep through again.
Oh.
So it's like they only last for a few minutes, the eye droplets.
Right.
It's like every 5 minutes you have to do more more numbing, and then it numbs it again.
Oh,
it's very temporary.
That's horrible.
And then they put these yellow eye droplets on that makes it, I don't know, it meshes with UV light. I'm not a doctor.
Oh, dude, I'd rather have a list. That's
So what's
insane.
Incredible is they have this technology where they can fix my sight.
Yeah.
The surgery is only about 15 years old. Like it's a new thing. It's modern. Then to recover, they go, yeah, put this on your eye and just tape it over your face when you sleep. I'm like, what do you mean? Like with sticky tape? I'm like, so you can fix my eyesight.
It's with paper tape.
But you can't supply
worse.
a fucking headband. Like you can't even supply an eye patch that covers my eye. So every night before bed, I go to bed and I'm taping like sticky tape to my face all across it and then trying to sleep with that on. Meg freaked out that I walked out the toilet in the middle of the night in the dark and she just sees this like ski mask, like taped up mummy looking assassin murderer.
Half asleep, like walking on a freaking
She's
limp.
like, oh, it's you.
So scary.
Anyway,
nasty.
I'm better now.
Well, I'm
That's
glad.
the long story short.
I'm glad you're better. I still have to tell my family that I have a lisp.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I'm gonna do that because the last time I got roasted by my 5-year-old niece, and I'm really worried to tell her about the lisp because basically we were drawing one day and she was like, Auntie Meg, I'm going to draw you. And I was like, oh my God, that's so nice. Yeah, draw me. I'll
You
start
wait to see what the
drawing you.
drawing is first before you say that.
I was like, oh, that's so nice. Yeah. And so she goes, watch me draw it. And I was like, okay, I'll watch you draw it. And she goes, okay. And then she draws 2 eyes, a nose, and then she just goes dot, 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 dot on the forehead. She's just like putting dots on it. And I was like, what's that? What are you drawing? And she's like, I'm drawing your pimples. I was like,
Oh, you did it again. Jesus Christ, take them off.
I'm so sorry.
Meg laughs with her entire body. When she laughs, you can't see it on camera or for audio listeners. She laughs and she bangs her feet on the ground as she's laughing. And my feet keep getting stomped on with roller skates under the table.
That means that the skates come out like way further than my toes.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, I'm like over here. I'm so sorry. I did not mean.
Yeah,
But
but
it was
that is brutal.
It's so brutal.
Sorry, guys, the audio stopped, but we're back.
Oh. So yeah, I'm gonna tell my family that I have a lisp now, and I'm probably gonna get roasted again by my 5-year-old niece. But we'll see. We'll see.
Well, guys, I hope that's got you ready for the weekend. Wind down, relax, okay? Just, Elliot, maybe don't go too hard on Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe do the tutorial. Just chill out.
No, I reckon still do it.
It's a wind down weekend.
you
I'm really
complete
shitty because I was going to have some pump up beers because last weekend was the definition of a wind down weekend.
No, that's okay. You can just have some like pump up beers while you're winding down. You know? No, it really sucks. It really sucks.
It was, yeah.
That's shitty.
You know what?
What?
Not this weekend,
Yeah.
but I just want to state this.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the result of the wheel.
Fuck you, Will.
Can I make a rule of the show?
Yeah.
Once a year, can we do a respin?
Yeah. Well,
Once a year.
We each get a race spin.
It's like a full moon.
No, I feel like we each get a race spin.
No, we have to decide between us.
No way.
It's one a year. We get one respin a year. I don't want to use it on this weekend.
But it's going to be so sad if it's like, it just does the same thing.
No, that's the thing. It's not an overruling. It's a respin. You just get a second go, but
Okay,
only once a
okay.
year.
Okay, once a year.
It's like Christmas, but for spinning.
Deal.
Shake on it.
Done.
Thanks for listening,
Thank you for
everyone.
listening.
Make sure you leave a review. Thanks so much to the people who have left a rating on iTunes and stuff. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate your support and everything, especially when you're commenting.
Spotify
and
ratings have been
liking.
going through the roof. Keep up that. We're
Really?
still in the charts.
Yeah, we're still on the
We're
charts.
top 50,
Let's
which is
go.
awesome. And of course, Patreon, the bonus episode,
Yes.
has been a bit of fun lately.
Yes. I have a update and a new shit story. 'Cause we were like, send in your unfortunate shit stories.
Yep.
And I have a doozy for this week.
Lit99 said on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, love the potty guys, love the realness. Doppelganger segment is lit. Keep the roast coming.
Let's
and then
go.
did a chicken wing emoji
Okay.
because I think your nickname was chicken
Chicken
wing.
wing. Yes, it was.
Yep. Best way to prep for the weekend with the boys. Luke and Meg slay so hard. I think I might be too ready for the weekend, said Rathika. What a champ.
Oh.
Keep them coming in. We appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.